Tommy, great to see you here at PPIM.
It's good to be here.
And great to see the folks listening. So tell me, what is it that Allan Edwards does? And what do you do for Allan Edwards?
Well, I'm a senior sales executive, been here since 2014, and we're primarily a pipeline repair company. We manufacture steel repair sleeves. We have 2 new products is something that we're featuring here at the show this year. We have a composite, it's called Omega Wrap, and we have a carbon and an e-glass system, and then we have the new compression sleeve, which is a heat induction compression sleeve to put pipelines in compression for crack-like features.
So how long have y'all been coming to PPIM?
Allan Edwards, probably since I've been here. I had to count. Of course, COVID kind of threw me off.
Well, it threw all of us.
Yeah.
That's for
so I would think if I really calculated, this could be my maybe close to 15th year being a PPIM.
And I don't even know how long PPM's been around. How long has Allan Edwards been around?
1947. We had our 75th birthday last year, so we're working on 76 this year.
I don't very often meet a company older than me.
You know, to me, something's real unique, too. It's 4th generation running the company.
Yeah, so closely
unique.
So interesting kind of sidebar. I did a podcast recently that kind of spoke directly to staffing challenges and closely held multi-generational family businesses, because there's a lot of those in our industry.
Yes.
We develop this very unique expertise, right, that we have to retain and move forward. And it just, when a company specialized like Allan Edwards gets bought by a bigger company, that tends to kind of disappear.
It does.
So anyways, kind of a sidebar.
Yep.
So I wanted to talk to you about your compression sleeve. You were walking me by your display over here. It's kind of interesting. And the compression sleeve, that looks like it's kind of a new concept in repair technology. Tell us a little bit about that and how it works.
Yeah, technology's been around for some time. I think what makes ours unique, basically it's a repair half-sole repair sleeve.
Right.
A typical type A or type B sleeve. What makes this one unique in itself, and the technology part of it, is basically we heat the sleeve. And we use induction heating to be able to heat that sleeve. With that heat, we get some growth.
Right.
Once that growth is achieved in the sleeve, we tack weld it. Once you get all your heating equipment off of it, you fully weld it out. And when it cools, it puts that pipe in compression. So if you have a crack-like feature, what you're trying to achieve is to keep and try to mitigate that crack from growing.
Yeah. So that's how long has that compression idea been around? Is that
or is no, the compression part's been around for a while. I think what makes ours pretty unique is that we use the heat induction.
So tell me about that. What is heat induction and how's that different?
Yeah, well, the heat induction is just different than an open flame. And the heat induction here, what you want to do is you need that delta. You need the heat difference between the sleeve and the pipe. So you need a quick heat into the sleeve. You don't want that heat to penetrate down in the pipe. You do that, the pipe will expand with the sleeve.
Right.
So the real trick of it is getting that heat in there precisely so you can keep that delta, the temperature differences between the sleeve and the pipe, the carrier pipe.
Yeah, this supports the notion I always have. Everything's easy till you know enough about it.
What I really like about the heat induction, to me, the primary thing is number one, you get the heat precise, but you have a controllable and measurable heat process through heating. And now all this takes place in a few minutes. It's not a very long, drawn out. And we take cold gap measurements before we start. And then once we get the heating process done, we take what we call hot gap measurements so we can make sure that we've achieved that growth and it's welded out.
Interesting. So you're really, you're actually engineering the compression. So you're getting you're targeting a specific amount of compression. So you get not too much, not too little.
Well, what's real unique too is that of course people a lot smarter than I developed a calculator to be able to help take that pipe data, the flow, everything that's considered, and it calculates so you know precisely where you need to get it at.
Yeah, that kind of thing to me, Tommy, it's really fascinating. Not being an integrity guy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's real easy to look at some of these things and just look at it and you think you understand what the science behind it is. And then I have a conversation with somebody like yourself and I realize I don't know hardly anything at all about this stuff. So it's really awesome.
Tell you another neat feature I also like about it is, you have pipe laminations. See, sometimes if you want to go in and you got a pipe that maybe you need to put a 3-foot sleeve on, you have to be able to have a good clean spot to land that weld.
Right.
And then we have some lamination and some pipes. So sometimes people are forced to put more sleeve on that's actually required for the corrosion area simply because they need to land those welds. The ideal behind this is that you can come in, place that over your feature. You don't have to worry about the end wells and place it in there. So crack-like features and some lamination seems to be a real good sweet spot for this.
Interesting. So what other kind of repair technologies?
Well, obviously we have the sleeves that's been around since, forever.
Right.
They're a 75-year-old company. So typical type A, what I refer to as tight-fitting sleeve, been around a long time. So the newest things that we have when it comes to integrity is the composite. Well, we handle a product called Omega Wrap. There is an e-glass system, which is basically a fiberglass, and then a carbon material. So those are they're pretty common. They've been around composites now have been around for a very long time.
Well, yeah, that's a technology that's evolving very quickly.
Absolutely,
we're learning more and more every day about how to get strength into the composites by the materials we're using, the epoxies, the resins, how we're wrapping, how we're placing the fibers, and all that type of thing. So
I spent 14 years in the composite business before I came to Allan Edwards. So it's really neat to see, and I was with the development of a company then, a product then, and it is really fascinating to see the technology changes even in fabric,
right?
And the epoxies are so much different than what they were that many years ago.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me how much strength you can build up. And the other thing that's interesting is you can build up strength in one direction with almost no strength in another direction.
That's correct.
But very, very fascinating, those technologies.
And then Omega Wrap's doing some specialized testing for wrinkle bands and geohazard situations, girth wells. So it's not just being limited. When we first started in this business a long time ago, it was basically small dents and corrosion,
Right.
But that's another thing that's really transpired a whole lot in the industry is being able to go out and test different features. A company has a specific issue with their pipeline, they can come into a place, test it, prove it in the lab, and then go out and attack those anomalies.
Well, awesome. Well, listen, it's great to see you here. It's great to be at PPIM and see everybody else.
Oh, good to be back. This is my favorite show. I like it because we get, you get the high-end people in companies down to people that's making the decisions. And
it's kind of this is where the pipeline integrity community is.
It is
really kind of worldwide. This is the place to be.
What I'm starting to realize is a lot of these faces I've been seeing for a long time. That's really neat. Good back.
You and me both, Tommy. You and me both.
Man, I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank
you.